Hello, good morning everybody. It's Saturday, and it's a beautiful day here in Arkansas. It feels like summertime almost, but at any rate, it's October and it is getting close to deer hunting season, and I put up a video last night of muzzleloading basics. So continue along that line. I'm going to show you guys what I put in my muzzleloader. What I put in it. So, sponsor shout out, Mountain Dew. Hey, Mountain Dew. If you haven't done the do, you need to do the do. If you don't, then drink something else. It'll taste like doo-doo. It's the choice of the Appalachian generation. All right, there we go. Okay, so here we go. I've got a 50 caliber CVA Wolf. CVA is Connecticut Valley Firearms. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them at most places. You can get them online, wherever. Muzzleloader. They're the cheap version. They're the cheapest ones that CVA offers. CVA Wolf. Put a paint job on it. Comes with a scope. It's $283. So we discussed that in the big long video last night. This is going to be a shorter video. So we talked about some of these accessories, like this guy. You get it in an accessory pack and you think, what in the world is that? People that haven't done any muzzleload before, when you put your bullet in here, you know, it's hard to start with your finger, so it kind of takes some pressure. So you just put this little ball here on top, or you can use this one, kind of put it down in there. But anyway, that helps you to put that down in there, because this is a lot more comfortable than a little spike sticking up in your hand. Okay. Now, we talked about this guy in the back right here. This is a breech plug that's about 6 feet long. Why is it so long? They don't want it to blow out and hit you in the face. All right, so we've got a long breech plug. Finally got it out of there. Now, you got a 209 primer that goes in the end of your breech plug here. And it's got a little tiny hole. See that little tiny hole? You can kind of see some wind and air through there. You're going to get one of these little breech plug pick things. It's just a tiny little wire. And you stick it in there to make sure that that's cleaned out. And especially in here, because when your black powder goes off, it'll give you a little scuzz in there. All right, so that's what this guy's for. So now when you see those little kits hanging up, you'll know what a couple of these items are for. Also, powder measure. How does that powder measure work? Well, you just open it up. It's got a little tube in there. You pull this down and it'll tell you how many. So let's see, that one is 30, 90. Okay, so that is 100 grains. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is 100 grains right there. So now I take my black powder, I pour it in, and then I close this off. When you close that off, it'll take any extra grains that's over 100 and kind of push them off to the side so you don't get more than that. Some people use 110. It depends on what you're shooting. So do your research. You know, could be 90 grains, could be 100, could be 120. That's whatever. And then you pour this directly into your rifle, into your muzzle loader, or you can fill up these handy dandy little guys right here, like that. And some of them even have a little measure on the side, so you can see that one's 110 right there. All right, so anyway, that's how you use your powder measure. So what powder do I use in my black powder rifle? I use Blackhorn 209. That's it. That is what you want to use. As you can see, it's $38.99 for this little small 10-ounce thing. You don't use a whole lot, though, to fire your muzzleloader. I mean, if you're going to shoot constantly, you will, but I'm telling you that the Blackhorn 209 is what you want to use. The reason I'm telling you that is because you don't want to clean up after the other stuff. You just don't. So buy this, measure it out, and use it like that. Are there other alternatives? Yes. There's some muzzle loaders out there now that you can use, and they got the fire stick thing, and it's basically looks like a shell, and you just stick it in there. You still have to plunge and load your, but that's your actual thing. You can also get these guys, which are the 777s, and these 777s are basically just a preloaded little capsule. That's it. That's your powder. Okay, so what do you do with that? You just drop it in your barrel and you push it down in there. So this is for 50 caliber. They're just 50 caliber black powder pellets. That's it. So 777. If you use this 777 stuff though, if you use this, trust me, you're going to clean that muzzle loader, because these things are rough. They are corrosive and they are nasty. So if anybody wants to call me out on that, go right ahead, because I have cleaned my muzzle loader after using the 5 or 6 that I used out of this box. Are they handy? Yeah, extremely. Can you load a little faster with it? Maybe. But if you've got yours measured out in this, it's basically the same thing. And I'm telling you, the black horn is what you want, because it's going to leave much less of a mess. Now, depending on the caliber of your muzzle loader, you're going to need a bullet. Here's our bullet. Now you can see these bullets have sabots on them. Sabots, or S-A-B-O-T. That's a French word for bullet thingy. Bullet thingy. So we open this guy up, and inside we have some ready-made bullets. Already has a sabot on it. So the sabot is separate. Some people call this a sabot, but it's not. It's pronounced sabot because it's French for thingy that goes on the end of your slug. So here's your slug. You put your sabot on there. You take your muzzle loader. You pour in your powder, or you use one of those 777 things that you shouldn't use. Don't use those. Drop that in. Put your bullet in just like that. You start your bullet with this guy. Push it down in there. And then you can use your ramrod here to go ahead, push your bullet down to the charge. All right? So that's basically it, other than on the back right here, you still got that breech plug. What's the big deal with the breech plug? Well, when you get it all the way in there, you put a 209 primer in here. When it hits the 209 primer, that's what shoots off your round, your charge and your round. So that's what that little tiny hole is for. So as soon as your hammer hits the 209 primer, then you get your explosion inside here, because it just shoots that little spark through that little tiny hole that you seen me use the little pick on, just through that, and then you get your explosion and your bullet comes out the other end with the propulsion of the explosion. What does the sabot do? That little plastic sabot thing helps to keep it tight in the barrel, which it should already be, but it keeps it nice and snug, and it keeps it coming out straight like it's supposed to, and turn like it's supposed to, and then it just falls away and the bullet continues on. And that is how we use a muzzle loader. So I gave you like a 30-minute tutorial video last night, which I know was long, but sometimes it takes a few minutes to talk about things that, you know, people go out in the woods and, you know, somebody may be relying on that deer to live and to eat. Okay, so here is another 50 caliber round. If you can see that guy, it's just hollow in the back. It does not have a sabot on it. But if you feel right here, if you see, it comes with a sabot on there. That's a little plastic thing. That's just kind of a ready-made sabot that goes on there. Are they as good as the other sabots? I don't think so. I don't think they're as accurate as the other sabots. So there you go. If you're going to be doing any muzzle loading this year, make sure that you got the correct rounds. So if you got a 50 caliber weapon or a 45 caliber or a 32 caliber, whatever it is you get, generally it'll be 50 caliber probably if you're going to pick one up Walmart or wherever, Academy Sports. And then you take it out, you kind of know the basics. You know how to load it, you know how to clean it and all that stuff. Basically, to clean it, what I use is Hoppy's number 9. Just put some Hoppy's number 9 on the little cotton deal or patch, push it down in there, let it set for a few minutes, and then swab it out until it's good. Get you a boar snake, use that. So there you go. Another 11 minutes on our little series of muzzle loading basics. So I hope you guys out there are having a wonderful Saturday. Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate it. Click the bell, click subscribe, and click like. Thank you guys for watching, and thanks for commenting and doing all that cool stuff. We really appreciate it. You guys have a great week.